welcome back to the Bridge Between podcast, episode 14. I'm Sosa, and we're coming to you live from the podcast place in Long Beach, California. And my beautiful soul sister, Reina, is here with me.
Hey, y'all.
And our very special returning guest, Sylvan LaCue.
Yes, Sylvan in the
We're so happy to
building.
see
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Sylvan was on our
Mhm.
podcast, episode 9.
No, episode 9, bread and
Yeah,
butter.
it was a year ago.
Yeah.
It was about a year ago.
Mhm.
So before we get into finding out about Sylvan, his story, where he's been at, and all the magical things that he is, I have a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out Mika for making these beautiful earrings. They're Monstera leaves. They're kind of small, but they're freaking awesome. And also, I have Soul Art Studios from Hawaii who made this necklace. Freaking dope. And
We
also,
love it.
Kelsey, Tribe with Kelsey Tea that we are drinking today. Cheers, guys.
Yes, cheers,
Yeah, you know what I'm
guys.
saying?
If you're
Cheers.
listening,
Yeah.
watching, go get a cup of tea.
We read
go
we
cheers.
read can't say it. Read up.
Yeah.
On tea. This is our official tea of the podcast. But This
Mhm.
is like the only tea that we've been really drinking on the show.
Yes, and it's officially delicious.
Yes. Well, we made it. Episode 14, and Sylvan, you're back.
Yes, I am.
And you have been on a beautiful health journey, and it seems that it's a beautiful coincidence with everybody that we've brought on. It's like mind, body, and spirit transformation for
Yeah.
everyone. So people have lost weight, have gone through cancer stories, and just deep transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to know what's happened in the last year. Like where's because you've been hitting the gym. If you check out
Yes,
his
he's been
Instagram,
working on his
Instagram
fitness, y'all.
stories, y'all.
Yeah.
He be out here, these like, how do you even pull yourself up like this?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what my coach said, he was like, the best way to learn how to do pull-ups is to do pull-ups. I was
Do
like,
it,
all right,
do
well.
it.
So it was like, oh, I can't do one.
Yeah.
Then it was like, well, I can do one. It's like, oh, I can do 3. Now it's like, oh, you could do 7. Or you could do 10. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at
Yes.
right now. I can do like a solid 7 to 10.
Chipping away.
I can
chipping
do like
away.
-1.
I
I'm
can
gonna
do an
get there, y'all.
assisted.
Yeah.
Assisted.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I started assisted.
Yeah.
Assisted.
Yeah.
I
Assisted
couldn't.
pull-ups. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
I couldn't do
Mhm.
them.
So tell us what motivated you to hit the gym, because you be hitting the gym hard and food wise, and you've been doing an amazing job of also using your platform and social media to talk about your health journey
Yeah.
and Twitter as well. What motivated that?
I would say in January, I really came. I like to say that I really came like face to face with my depression. Like I met my depression for the first time.
Mhm.
Feel like I attributed a lot of my depressive episodes to like events that were happening,
Yeah.
things that were going on in my life.
Yeah.
But in January, it was like, oh, this is my depression. This is what you've been going through, and get a good look at it. And I needed to find a way to at least just get out of my comfort zone and to get around community. And so the first thing that struck to me as an action step to getting on the other side of it was taking care of the physical vessel. And I started going to the gym with my boy Solo Jackson, who's an artist as well.
Mhm.
And he along with a few other friends,
Community.
you know, just
Mhm.
taking
Yeah.
accountability.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
accountability partners. important.
Yeah, it was super important.
yeah, absolutely, and having fun. And I needed to set an intention, and I wanted to make sure that fitness and wellness was a part of my life.
Yeah.
And so I spent a lot of money on a membership so I can like really force myself to go.
Oh,
To be
yes.
committed.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a contract. If you think about
Yeah.
it, and if you make it a spiritual contract with your intention, it
Yeah.
becomes even so much more powerful.
Absolutely. I knew if I spent like 10, 12 bucks, 15 bucks,
You ain't gonna
whatever,
honor
I
it.
ain't about to put,
You're not gonna go.
But spending, you know, a few $100s and being around friends, being around people that I really rock with who are encouraging you on an everyday basis, felt like that was just a great place to start.
Mm.
And also just grounding like my Kundalini energy,
Yes.
working out just really gets me like,
yes.
okay, you good. Like the next day, all right, I can walk, I'm fine. I'm not, you know,
Mhm.
pressure isn't pooling in my head. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
all like I don't have like my like kriyas are all right, you
Mhm,
know. So that's kind of what prompted me to really start getting my health and fitness together. You know,
Yeah.
I think I'd weighed like 270.
Yeah.
But last time I met you guys, I was 245,
Mhm.
250, gained
Mhm.
like 20, 30 pounds.
Mhm.
And so now I'm 215.
Oh wow.
So I lost like, yeah, I lost like 50.
Shout out
so
to
50 pounds.
Hey,
Thank
where's
you.
the cheers for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you
get
also
it
had a
in.
health scare come up, right?
Yeah. So as I was working out, I had a health coach. Shouts to my guy, Michelangelo.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
So
that.
when I was, Michelangelo like actually
Archangel
showed up, like my
Michael.
archangel
Yes.
actually showed up in a physical presence
I love it.
as my health coach. And so shouts to you, my guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout
He
out to all the
really,
angels.
you know what I mean? He really started getting my just getting my like health supplements, food, uh overall lifestyle in order.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the doctor for the first time in a while. I hadn't gone to get a checkup. I was like, let me get a checkup.
Mm.
And they just told me, well, the doctor told me, hey, you're pre-diabetic. And it wasn't crazy to the point where it was, in another 2 weeks you could be diagnosed. It was like entry level. But it was
Mhm.
enough for me to realize how far things have gotten. Also, I was saying to myself, like, well, dang, I'm doing okay right now. I'm actually taking the steps to move forward. So imagine where I was 3 or 4 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
So that also radically changed my diet in terms of cutting out or cutting down on carbs, cutting down on sugar drastically,
Mm-hmm.
cooking at home even more.
You
Mhm.
cook.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck
I
yeah.
had to. Like, I
Shout out to
got
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
got to. You know? Yeah, so it's a journey.
Flipping in the kitchen.
It's ups and downs,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's definitely been it's been incredibly transformative.
Yes, we love
Yeah.
that. So, what's your favorite meal to cook for yourself now that you're whipping in the kitchen?
Hey.
Um,
I want to know. Let the people know.
No, for
Yes, I want the
sure.
recipe.
for sure, for sure. I think honestly, like sauteed Brussels sprouts, brown
Mhm.
rice, lemon pepper chicken.
Oh, lemon
Ooh,
pepper
hey, Brussels sprouts
Real
go
shit.
crazy.
Yeah, you know
Brussels
what I
sprouts go
mean?
so
So
crazy.
crazy, so wild.
So wild.
You know?
Yes.
I love that y'all
them.
hyped about vegetables right now.
Bro, I
Yeah.
love vegetables. I love
Yeah.
vegetables. Go get some broccoli. Go eat some collard greens. Go eat some spring mix salad.
Mhm.
Like,
Go to your local farmer's market. Support your local
yes,
folks.
farmers
Yeah,
market
please.
vegetables will change your life.
Mhm.
You'll be like, "What the fuck was I eating
Yeah,
at the
it's
damn
true.
grocery
All
store?"
facto.
It's
Yeah.
so scary.
Yes,
Actually,
it
I'm
is.
like, "This is fake. It's not even real."
Mhm.
But yes, I love that.
GMO
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, GMOs.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite meal. You know what I mean? And then roast some broccoli.
So, what
You
is
know.
your favorite part of this whole health journey? Is it the results? Is it the way you feel? Is it seeing the transformation and how you can continue to grow from it? But like, what's your favorite part about this whole thing? Because
Mhm.
something must keep you to keep going. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even in the face of adversity or like days that we don't feel like it. What's your favorite part of this whole thing?
I think just feeling good
Mm.
has been really impactful for me.
Mhm.
I think at the baseline of it, going to the gym, working out, being around people, it just feels good. And I really needed that. I needed something that I could of course it's the results, it's what you're doing, it's being around people, it's being encouraged. But just overall waking up, going to the gym, it's just endorphins right after. It's a high in itself. And I think,
Facts.
just having something
To look
like
forward
that
to,
on
yeah.
a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And also knowing that even when I don't feel like going, on the other side of going, I'm gonna feel good.
Exactly.
That's like my favorite part.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
100%.
So true.
Is that what's your routine in the morning?
So I wake up, meditate for like 5 minutes, and then I fill up a bottle of water and I go straight to the gym.
So
And I'll
mornings always gym time.
I go on an empty stomach. And I'll
I do the
either do,
same.
either do a boxing class. Boxing has been really great for me, bringing out that inner warrior.
Yes.
A lot
That's
of
important.
Here for
discipline,
it.
skill, trade.
Fuck
You just
yeah.
never know. You know what I'm saying?
Hand-eye coordination.
You know what I mean?
Hey.
You never know.
Yeah. All the things.
Yeah, absolutely. Then leave, fix me a rounded breakfast. And
Which is?
yeah.
so usually I do two breakfasts. I either do either do two protein waffles, and I make the batter myself, just protein powder, 1 egg, a cup of oatmeal, some cinnamon, and almond milk.
Ooh.
Then just swish it around and get some sugar-free syrup. and call it a day. And or I'll do 2 keto toasts, 4 turkey sausage, a cup of spinach, a couple blueberries, a protein smoothie,
Come
and call it
through.
a day. You know.
Those are both very well rounded and
Wow.
delicious, y'all.
That is
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Oh, and 3 boiled eggs.
all
Without-
Ooh,
together.
I love
yeah,
boiled eggs.
all together. I mean,
I mean, he's
try
a
to make
bigger
Take
guy
notes,
than
y'all.
us.
Yeah, I was realizing too that I was either eating too much of the wrong things or too little of the
Of the
right
right
things.
things.
And I had to start
Mm.
eating a lot of the right things in proportions.
Mhm.
And I was realizing that I wasn't even eating at my deficit level for losing weight. I was
Mhm.
eating below it. So I really
Mhm.
had to rev up on like just calories in the best way possible.
Oh my God. I'm so happy that you said that because I
Yeah.
feel like that's what I've learned a part of my workout journey. Shout out to my friend Courtney. She used to work at a gym and she was telling me, like, if you're working out, but you're not eating your calorie count for the day, your body is actually eating those muscles that you just built up. So it's
Yep.
so important that you paid attention to that. Make sure you're eating
Mhm.
the right amount of protein. You're getting a
Mhm.
little bit of complex carbs in there, and you're
Mhm.
also getting your greens and
Mhm.
staying hydrated. So that's really important. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's more than just working out, it's being disciplined with your body in a deeper level, and like you said, connecting with the food and being like, I like how you have 2 different meals so you can switch it up if you get tired of one, because I'm one of those people, like when people meal
Yep.
prep, I'm like, I can probably meal prep for 3 days straight and I'll be over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want something else. I need-
Really?
yeah,
I
need
can
a
eat the
different
same
flavor.
shit. I can for a whole week, and I've done
I-
it. It actually works.
I
I'm
can only
really
do like
picky,
2
yeah,
days.
with the same.
Max.
Yeah,
y'all.
2-3 days.
2-3
Yeah,
days
exactly.
max.
2-3
Virgo
days. I'm like,
asses. They're like,
It's like
This
I
ain't
don't eat
sitting
on
right.
a third day.
Yeah,
like,
right
what?
there.
I don't
Like, that's a
know.
lot. Like-
You know what I mean? I'll probably meal prep some rice, so I don't have to make
oh
rice.
yeah, rice,
Yeah,
rice. I
yeah,
can
yeah.
go
Warm up some
rice all
rice.
day long. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I can do rice.
Yeah.
So how is this like health journey tie in with your music journey? Because I'm pretty sure the mental health has also made way for
Mhm.
you to explore new things. Have you explored new things? What is that? Where are you in that journey? Because
Yeah.
maybe people want to know where you at, like when you releasing stuff,
Yeah.
coming out with
Dropping
stuff,
it like it's hot.
all that
yeah.
stuff.
I mean, yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get shy now.
I mean-
Yeah, right. He did.
So I have a project that's already done.
Mhm.
And me and my manager are actually just figuring out the business bearings around it.
Mm.
Just to make sure that we have the right support system before we press the start button.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also focusing on like social media. It's a new time. Like
Yep.
when I dropped an album, last time I dropped a full body of work, it was 2018, early.
Mhm.
And since then we've had a pandemic.
Mhm.
We're looking at 4 years. So
Mhm.
I've been humbling myself really to just be a student and see like how things are done, because it's a completely different time from how I was maneuvering versus how people are maneuvering now.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Exactly.
So my perspective has really shifted to just take my time to
Adapt.
exactly, you
Mhm.
know. But in the meantime, the real shift for me has really been Wise Up, my company. And what I've been really honing in on is just wellness for artists and musicians.
Yes.
You know, wellness and self-development. And really just figuring out what we need on an everyday basis and how that could be factored into our business dealings. Because so much so we're investing into the product of an artist and not realizing that the product is a direct representation of the ability of an artist to be able to function. So a lot of that has been my process on a personal level, figuring out how to get through depression, going to therapy, figuring out how to pay my rent, just a day-to-day basis of what makes me an artist, trying to figure out how to essentially focus on that, but for all artists.
Yeah.
And just going into like content, messaging, the whole nine. And so that's been like my real baby as of late. It's been
Your
really
project
fun.
baby.
Yeah, I'm really
Can you
excited
go a
by it.
little bit more into like what is Wise and how that came up for you? Just
Yeah, so Wise Up for me originally started as a record label / movement. Coming up as an artist, it was like you gotta have your thing. So Taylor Gang had, with Wiz or Rockefeller.
Paper Route with Young Dolph, everything.
You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. So I was like, okay, Wise Up. And we started making merch, me and my partner, Jonathan Benaventi. We started making merch around 2018. And we realized how far it was going. We were doing a lot in sales. And then the pandemic hit, kind of shut everything down. And I started thinking about what I wanted Wise Up to be. And I had like all these ideas, but just nothing that I could really pinpoint down. Yeah,
Yes, if you're watching us
absolutely.
on YouTube, we've got the Wise Up website up behind us. Check
I
it
Yeah,
like
out.
that.
that was our last piece before the pandemic hit. It was a Wise Up denim jacket, and so
Ooh,
we were doing
that's
really
really
well.
nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were doing really well. We did over 30,000 in
Beautiful.
sales, and we
I
had like
love your branding here too.
Yeah, it's very
yeah,
clean.
yeah, absolutely.
We need to collaborate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
We're
want to do like meditations for you guys
yeah,
and
Yeah.
please,
like
the whole
sound
nine.
baths and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
the whole
Fuck
Yeah.
nine.
yeah,
Yeah,
collaborations.
the whole
Here we
Yes.
nine.
come.
Mhm.
They ain't
Yeah,
even ready.
I
They ain't
really,
even ready.
I really just been focused on. So the last sorry, like
Sorry, I got
yeah,
excited.
yeah, I got excited too. I was
Yeah.
like, wait,
You're
so I was like,
You're like
wait,
the vision. You're
You
like
see
seeing
it.
it all.
absolutely,
Yeah, I was like, oh
absolutely.
my god.
This is how our process works,
Yeah,
y'all.
right.
Absolutely, I had to
It
like,
was
I was like, wait, so what was I
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, right.
my bad, my bad.
So me and Jonathan actually fell into depression once the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and and he went his way, I went my way. We kind of dropped Wise Up for a while, and we're both going through our respective journeys.
Mm-hmm.
And over the past, I want to say 6 months, started hitting me that what I was going through as an artist, there was nothing that was supporting that for artists. Like these conversations aren't really prevalent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And not only that, there's no support system for an artist. Even
Right.
when you're signing a record deal,
Yeah.
there's no budget for your wellness.
Nope,
Mm.
nothing.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a very good
damn.
point.
So Wise Up, we want to come in and be an agent for that, and kind of change how artists are operating
Mhm.
on a day-to-day level,
Mhm.
but outside of our services, really getting into messaging through content, storytelling,
Mhm.
activations, meditations,
Mhm.
plan retreats,
Mhm.
really
Mm.
changing the artist landscape outside of just the product. Because in
Yeah.
order to make the product, you yourself need to be in optimum shape, and that's
Yeah.
just as much of as an investment as your actual product.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what we've been working on with Wise Up, and I'm really excited about it. A lot of dope ideas we've been baking, and
Yeah.
just getting ourselves ready to go.
I'm excited for you. This is a
Yeah.
beautiful concept and idea, and especially as someone who loves music, um, like you said, there is no help for artists, and we don't even think about that. Like we were talking about on the camping trip, the Temptations movie,
Yep.
and how in one of the Temptations gets overcome with drug addiction because of just the overwhelming of becoming a star and like seeing where he came
Mm.
from, and like there was so much pain in that for me because
Mhm.
he was so successful, so talented, so gifted, but he could not see himself in that way, and he turned to drugs and lost it
Mhm.
all. And
Yeah.
if he had Wise Up at that
Ooh.
time, that never would have happened
Tell
to
'em.
him, and that
Yeah.
could save lives. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that could literally save lives. Like people that are overcome with addiction or just don't know have any emotional intelligence as an artist and as a human being, and especially men,
Yeah.
they need more help because I feel as though in society we don't allow men to be emotional, to have emotions, or
Be
we like
vulnerable.
be vulnerable,
Yeah.
or we beat them up for it because we're like, man, you're supposed to be making some money, you're supposed to
Mhm.
be doing this, you're
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah.
doing that. And it's like, well, they have feelings too, like
Yeah.
you know, and it's important that we address that because we just
Yeah.
brush it off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're addressing it, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's your, I guess you could say, biggest goals, highest thing that you could do with Wise Up? Like what's the craziest
Ooh.
thing that you want to accomplish with Wise Up?
Ooh.
Like if you had all the resources, what would you do?
The ultimate goal for me for Wise Up is Wise Centers. I want to be able to like create like a 24-hour fitness, but for artists, where all you have to do is pay a membership, and you have all the amount of resources that are accessible to you as an artist, whether it's meditation or whether it's a therapist on deck,
Mm.
24-hour studio time,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like all types of classes for wellness, something that's just truly catered for artists on a 24-hour standpoint.
Mhm.
That would be my number one mission for Wise Up. Well, not number one mission, but that would be like my ultimate, like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because then we have such accessibility at such a low rate. And I also feel like, just like we're at a time where people are deciding to become artists the most prevalent.
Correct. That's
Mhm.
correct.
So people are
Yes.
either they're deciding or they are starting to experiment and be like, oh, well, I can upload something on SoundCloud.
Mhm.
People are going more viral
Mhm.
far more quickly. There's all this
Mhm.
pressure to perform. The burnout
Mhm.
rate is way quicker.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's obviously a service that needs to be upheld, but we're kind of in a space where artists are treated as profit.
They're a
So
product.
absolutely, you are the product, and it's no different in any type of business.
Yep.
We're here to facilitate a business deal. So why would that not be included? Why wouldn't there be a program that's specified for artists to be able to have to go through with different attributes in order to create their product? There's a level of protection that has to happen in order for that product to manifest itself. Otherwise, you're going to keep having burnouts, going to keep having mental depressions. You're going to keep having to have this turnaround rate. And as profitable as we are as a music in a music industry, there's so much money that's left on the table just because this isn't being taken care of in excess. So that's what we're like aiming to really do. So I'm really excited by it.
Yeah.
Like, really excited.
It's a really
happening.
exciting, great idea, because celebrity or just artists from all walks of life, they, we put wellness last, I think.
Yeah.
And then,
Or not at all.
Not at all.
We just don't consider it.
don't even consider it. And also, like, these agencies and these people that do record labels and deals and executives, they look at you guys as a product and not as a person with feelings. It's more of like, what can you push out? What can you create? And it's like, yeah, you can create, but you can't pour from an empty cup either.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just been a product of like my experience, Jonathan's experience. It's like we had to go through all of this, and there's so many others who are going through it while being successful. So they have to continue turning around the product. I mean, especially now with artists like that are just starting, who are signed to record deals, that still work jobs, are still trying to become successful. It's like, like, where's the real support? And then outside of that, just creating content to get to everyone, programs to get to everyone, retreats and events and just really cool stuff to get to as many people, as many artists as we possibly can. The messaging is very important, but at the end of the day, it's a very necessary thing that I see. So.
Yeah. Where would you do your retreat?
Man, there's so many, like...
Top three
for me right now would be Hawaii.
Yes, I knew it.
Hawaii.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Hawaii, I would definitely want to do one in Yosemite.
Yes.
And I would probably want to do one in Miami just because, my
Your
heart,
roots.
you know what I'm saying? But I'm really excited. Our action steps are starting pretty soon. We have everything in place in terms of like what we need. So now it's just having fun and doing cool stuff.
Yes, it's happening.
Yeah,
Sullivan, that's your favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is there any other projects you're working on besides Wise Up and the up and coming album, or is it EP? Or
so it's probably gonna be, it's gonna be a project. I think, I don't know if it's gonna be an EP.
Or a mixtape, or
it might be a mixtape. My goal is for it to be a Gangsta Grills. That's what we're really working on.
That's very Miami.
Yeah, that's what we're
That's
really
very,
working on.
very Miami.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I got a nice story that I want to tell. It's a nice cautionary tale.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, very like a very dark cautionary tale. Very excited about it.
I like it.
And that'll set up for my hopefully my major label debut. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, we also asked you to bring some of your favorite things.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you about those. So we'll start with this lovely artifact over here.
Yes, absolutely. So can I snag
Yeah.
this?
Of course. Yeah,
All right,
show the
so
people.
Do whatever
boom.
you want.
This is a replica of
It's so cool.
yeah, it's a replica of the Green Ranger's Dragon Sword flute from Power Rangers. You know what I mean? So I'm a huge Power Rangers, like, you know what I'm saying? You know
Yo,
what
I
mean?
love the Power
Me
Rangers
too.
too.
We
I
were just
feel
talking
it.
about them too.
I'm such a nerd. I have a replica Gold Ranger Zeo helmet.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
I've seen it on your Instagram story.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's my heart,
Yeah.
But yeah, this means a lot to me just because as a kid, this guy was the coolest thing ever. Tommy from Power Rangers was the coolest thing ever.
Tommy.
Yeah, man, Green Ranger vibes, and you would just come in and do the dun, 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 and it would just go down, and you knew what time it was. You knew what was happening. So this definitely means a lot to me.
Yeah,
I love that. That's very healing for your inner child.
I was gonna
Yes,
say your inner
absolutely.
child is lit.
Yeah,
it loves
Like,
that.
Yeah.
It's you hold that a lot, and I feel like you do a good job of also checking in with it.
Yeah.
And like seeing if like we're good here, because you do use that energy to create. And also for this project that you're doing, you see the ways people can really use that shift within their mental health to like acknowledge what happened in childhood. How do we bring more balance there, but also connect with that usefulness. The child doesn't have limitations like that. It doesn't think about like lack or what people are like thinking of them. They just do because it brings them joy and like they're super present. So you do a great job of that.
Hey, I'm doing my best.
Yes.
I really am. I really
We
am.
That's all
see you.
we
We
can
see
do.
you.
That's all we can do. Where's
Good. Yes.
That's it.
And then one more. You have
Oh, yeah.
this beautiful jacket over here.
Absolutely. So this is my jacket from 2016.
I'll help you hold it up.
It was it's the loner jacket.
Where we at?
And
Right
so when I went on my first
here. This
tour,
is a legit jacket.
yeah, when I went on my first headlining tour in 2016, and I wore this jacket every city I went to, and every fan
That's awesome.
signed it. So this is like
let's turn it around.
yeah, this is a jacket with all of my fans' signature.
Is there a favorite little saying that someone wrote on there that you love
There
the
you go.
most?
I ain't gonna hold you. I haven't even read it. Like I took it off and I framed it once, and it was framed for like 4 years, and then I took it out of the frame, and I was like, let me just hang this up, man. But this is definitely
There's
one
so
of my
much
favorite
writing on
joints.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Yeah.
a vibe.
Lots
I
of
made
love.
I made everybody sign it. I told them you gotta sign my jacket.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
I love
Wise,
that.
Wise up in here.
Yeah, I had it right at the bottom.
I love the arrow.
Yeah,
This is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. And so I went on tour in like 8 cities. I remember it was my first tour ever, and I was like funding it and taking planes and figuring out the bearings and utilizing a whole lot of favors. So this was like a reminder to me of, hey, I'm only doing this because you guys are showing up and supporting.
You love your fans. If there's
Yeah.
like one artist that I know out there, you are like very involved.
Yeah, they pay my rent,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Don't you have a Discord?
Facts.
Don't you have a
You know what I'm
Discord with your
saying?
fans too?
yeah, I do. The
Okay.
LaCue family, well, LaCue La Familia.
Okay, so tell
You
us
know.
about that. What started that? What made you want to do that? And
I think just learning, like I was saying earlier, about where we're at in the music industry, and I think we're kind of coming back to a full circle, like a 360, where community really is going to be the saving grace in a lot of artists' success. Just there, and there's so many platforms to be able to activate and cultivate your community and your tribe, and they're incentivizing it a lot more, especially with NFTs coming into the forefront.
Oh yeah.
So I really got into it just by learning and figuring out what's popping and what's really happening. And when I started getting more into NFTs, I realized that a lot of these NFTs were coming with Discords and they had their own communities. And reason why a lot of these projects were going crazy was because the communities were so strong. And so that just brought me back to what I do musically and what I have coming up with Wise Up, just being able to cultivate the community that I already have and activate them on a deeper level. So that was the real driving voice behind it.
Awesome. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think I know any other artists off the top of my head who have a Discord with their fans. Maybe you do know, but I know that a lot of spiritual practitioners, they've been starting to do kind of things like that to create a closer community. But I love that idea, and I love that you're like literally talking to your fans. That reminds me of when Soulja Boy literally posted his number and was actually texting him. So that's some iconic shit right there. I love that.
Yo, thank you. My boy Kari Durgan's great artist. I actually asked him a lot about how Discord was going, because he was on it like a year ago.
What is this platform? I don't think I'm not familiar with it.
Discord is basically like a community chat room that can have as many people as you want, and like you just basically name it and everybody just free for alls up in there. So right. I'm like, I know people, like I know spiritual practitioners, like when they want to get closer to people they'll do stuff like that. But yeah, it's basically like a community talking space, kind of like Clubhouse, but without the video, just texting.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And like picture posting, like you said, memes and stuff like that. And that's cool though. That's really cool. That means you're like actually really talking to the fans and listening to them, and I feel like that's inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every artist should at some point have some type of relationship with their fans. How deep you want it to be is up to you. But for me, I mean, that's how I really grew up. in the industry. Like when I was touring early on, it was
Mhm.
all about the fans, all about the community, because they were the people who were gonna put money in your pocket.
Yeah.
So,
Facts, yeah.
you know, that one high, that one wave can feed you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I see you like as like a music business executive at some point, or just like
Mhm.
high up there. But I want to ask you, who is your idol when it comes to those icons of music business executives?
Music business. I mean, you gotta throw Jay up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, from a standpoint of what he's accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta throw E40 up there.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Just in terms of
Bay
diversified
Area.
portfolios and interests. I mean, I think just from not necessarily an exec standpoint, but from how the business model, just from the business model, I mean, you got to
Mhm.
put Too Short
Oh,
in
Yes,
there.
we love Too Short.
Yeah, you got to put
Mhm.
Too Short
Yeah,
in
give
there.
yeah.
You know, just because without him, the direct to consumer in music is, you know, really non-existent. At least in hip hop, it's non-existent. You know, P
Mhm.
came to Oakland to get the game from them, and
Yeah.
I would definitely say Jimmy Iovine, just for being insane. He's a
Mhm.
really insane person, and I don't see how he sees what he sees, but he be seeing it. And
He's got the vision.
the things he puts together, like
Yeah.
he knows how to put things together that just work. And it's like I don't like he's done it time and time again. And then the last person is Clive Davis, just because he's just such a
Mhm.
music person, and you
Mhm.
can tell it in his heart, regardless of what's going on. He's going with his soul. You know,
Mm.
he really is about the music, and
Mhm.
you need more people like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day you'll meet all of these people.
Yeah, man. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Soon,
Yeah.
soon,
Yeah.
The
soon.
goals.
Yes.
All right.
Manifesting it.
I want to switch over to playing salad bowl over here.
Yes.
And we got some random questions
Let's
that
go.
we're all
Show
gonna
us
be
the bowl.
going.
Tell us about
So
the
this
bowl.
is the you tell us about the bowl. You
I was
brought
gonna say-
this
I was
bowl.
gonna say,
Here,
so-
let me pass this
Tell us
bowl
about the
around.
bowl.
I'm like,
Yeah.
so we're using a calabash fruit bowl from the lovely Jasmine of Soul Divinity. She was also one of our guests on the
Yeah,
podcast.
she was.
6 or 7. She was in our first season or our first couple
can't remember.
episodes. Check her out. She's amazing. But the calabash bowl is very popular in West African and Caribbean culture, and they use it to hold water, to eat out of, and it's also one of their most prized possessions. And I thought I'd incorporate it into our get down today. So
Get
yeah, we got
down.
some
Get down,
questions.
get
All right,
down.
so
Yeah.
we're all gonna
You know what I'm
pick.
Yeah.
Everything is a song around
Jamon.
here, right?
Yeah, low key.
All right.
So we're all gonna be picking from this, but Sylvan, since you are a
Oh,
guest, so
yeah,
you
let's
can
go
start
ahead and go
first.
first.
See what question we
Yes,
get.
ASMR. Let's do it.
And
by
if
the
you're
mic.
watching this and
ASMR.
you want us to, bring in one of your questions, you can email us at
Yes.
thebridgebetweenpodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram, thebridgebetween888. What was your
DM us,
question?
yes.
What do we get?
Okay.
What do we get?
How has patriarchy affected you?
Ooh. You would get
Yes,
that
all the
one.
random questions. Yes.
Deep. We
Tell
going in.
'em, tell 'em.
Oh man, patriarchy. How has it affected me? This is such a wild question.
I know. Guess
Um,
who picked that one?
It was Sosa.
Yeah, it was so
How has patriarchy affected me? Interesting. This is a deep dive.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Let's do it.
So definitely my mother, I think it's interesting. My mother was like the head.
Mm.
And it seemed like
For the household.
Yeah, head of the household. You know, even when she had men that she was dating or whatnot, like she was the one. You know, she was the one I always like looked to. It's like, yo, you the boss.
Yes.
Like it just is what it is.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah, mama. You know what I mean? Like, man, this is a wild question. I'm trying to figure out.
know.
Trying to figure out how this
going
has
in.
affected me. I think at one point or another, I had to examine like my relationships.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just like
Mm.
my my romantic relationships.
Like how you see women.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Because I would see in my partners. I would look for in my partners what I saw in my mom,
Mm-hmm.
which was just strong, independent, could do whatever she wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and also kind of like domineering. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
have to like earn love
Mm-hmm.
and I think like now especially with the partner that I'm with right now. Like, she's been challenging me a lot, just in terms of like roles and who's responsible for what and how you're supposed to lead, and also what she wants, because she wants to be led. And so that for me has been really interesting. I wouldn't say like good or bad, but just like it's making me look inward in terms of like, well, what do you really want to do? Because I'm so used to serving. I'm so used to like, well, whatever makes you happy, especially coming from my childhood, you know, stressed out mom, long day, you know what I mean? Like, don't want to piss anybody off. Just
I feel
don't
it.
want to, you know
No
what I mean?
drama.
Don't want to shake the table.
Yeah.
But this, I think, being in this space of wanting to be, being in this relationship and wanting to be led, I have to start thinking about, well, what do I want to do, and how do I want things to move, and you know, if I had it my way, what way would I go? I don't know if that answers this question.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
yeah, you did.
Wow, man, that's
I
a
know.
loaded question.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a
And you can tell
loaded
me.
one.
I think there's layers to that too.
Yes,
so,
yes. Cheers to you for doing that.
Yeah, man.
Marina, since the bowl's near you, you can
Yeah.
go next.
All right, let's see,
Let's see
y'all.
what question you get.
ASMR.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's
Digging
me.
in them on, digging in them
I love
on.
it.
All right, let's see. I picked one. Slammed it down. Ooh, what makes your heart warm?
That's such a pleasant question.
He's like, oh wow.
Angels are like, let's get it. Like,
Right?
let's
Yeah.
get,
What makes
get
your
to it.
honestly, nature definitely makes my heart warm. Being out in nature, like hearing it, experiencing it, like on a full bodied experience of like just being fully immersed in it, that shit makes my heart so warm. Children make my heart so warm, like hanging out with them, seeing them play, seeing them have a good time, seeing them learn. What else warms me up?
Your Starbucks.
Yes,
Drink?
yes, oh yes. I
Like
love
crack.
food. Yeah, food
Oh yeah.
or drinks, like the whole culinary experience of eating, of finding food, of tasting, of making, that makes my heart warm, like immensely, like fills me up inside.
Y'all, she's a what are you? A Yelp elite
I'm an
reviewer?
elite Yelper, yes. I'm
Yeah,
an elite
she
The
out
Yelper.
here.
Olympics, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was reading your reviews and I was like, this is actually a really good review.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, this is the type of shit Raina would say in person. I was like, oh, I could see people being entertained as fuck reading your reviews.
Oh yeah.
Like she wrote like a paragraph for one of them, be like, legit, this is by far
Yes,
like,
like,
Legit,
hands
all
down.
caps.
yes, like dead ass. This food is really, really good. And I also bring into I talk about like the ambiance and the experience of like being in that place too. And I really do, when I write my reviews, I like take the time and sit and be like, all right, how did that make me feel? Usually I try to do it immediately after eating the food, because that's when I'm super inspired, or like while I'm there. Also, I would say photography, like taking pictures and art
yeah.
in general, that makes me super warm, either creating stuff or seeing other people's art. Yeah, those things make me really, really warm inside.
Yeah.
This is a really good question, because I was like, dang, a lot of things
That's
make
like
my
you
heart
in a
warm.
nutshell for sure, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's
a
lot
way
of
for people
things.
to really get to know you.
All right, so it's
Yeah.
coming to you now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who was your elementary school crush? Anthea Echevarria. Who's Puerto Rican. Was he Puerto Rican? Yeah, I think he was Puerto Rican,
Ooh,
or either Puerto Rican,
Boricua.
Mexican. Yeah, and it was one of those things too where like I moved into a different neighborhood in elementary school. What did you say? You said something over here.
You
Over here.
said Boricua. Right
Oh,
out there.
yeah, I was like, of
I was like, that
course.
reference is hilarious. Yeah, it's like-
Yeah, I didn't even know you knew that.
Yeah.
But I remember, I guess in elementary school, I got kind of picked on by other girls because I actually did get a lot of attention from boys, and it just I didn't fit very well at the beginning, so I kind of had to earn my trust. I definitely
Especially
got,
you being new, they had all the eyes on you. They're, ooh, she kind of fine.
yeah, and I
I kind of like her.
Yeah.
I literally one time I got jumped by like 6 different like Mexican girls, and I remember coming home with like marks on my face and
Kids are
stuff.
so mean.
And my
sometimes.
mom was like, she looked at me dead ass and be like, let's go to this girl's house. And it was the main person. Shout out, what was her name? Last name Garcia. I can't remember her first name. Starts with an A. But I remember my mom was like straight up looking at her mom being like, if this ever happens again, like threatening this woman. But my mom gave me like the biggest lecture of the like, you never let anybody like do that. Even if it's like, you know, you defend your, and I tried, but it was just like, shit, I got dragged down to the ground.
Yeah,
and
by
shit.
multiple people.
By multiple people.
They ganged up on you.
Yeah, I will never forget that. And just being chased and shit.
Fuck,
but like,
intense.
that shit made me like
real
stronger.
intense,
Hell yeah,
That shit made me stronger because I had 2 older brothers, so it's like I didn't know how to defend myself. But when you have like 6 girls, and it was like I remember pulling hair, scratching, slapping, kicking, and like all that stuff. And I remember I was just like, why? I didn't understand it, and I just looked different too. I mean, I grew up with a lot of Mexicans in my area, and I do look Puerto Rican or black mix something, but I didn't look Mexican. So they were just like, who's you?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my crush, and I guess we went into that whole story of just like being a woman or a young girl growing up. So I didn't really like boys like that, like because I was just like intimidated, like don't look at me, y'all trouble anyways. So fuck out of here, leave my space.
Yes,
that was my answer to that. All right, Sylvan, again,
another one.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah,
who's from Miami? From Miami, right?
Yeah, I grew up with Khaled, man. That's why people be like, yeah, man, y'all don't know, man. Khaled in the field.
I went to a college party in Miami. I went to a college party in Miami, and he was a DJ there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Khaled a DJ and a producer,
You know,
too.
he gives
Johnson
Miami
and Wales.
vibes.
Was that what it's called? You know that university?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You was in the fold. You was definitely in the fold, yeah.
Shout out Miami, y'all.
Shout out Miami.
Who did you date in high school?
Oh, yay. Tell us.
Man, I dated, shouts to my homie, man. You know, I dated Marine Ultima in high school.
That's quite a name.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to say the same.
Ultima. She was Haitian, or she is Haitian.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was Haitian.
Where's she at now?
Like,
she's just off this plane.
Gone.
Oh man. She would hate. Oh my God, she would hate that. But yeah, Marine Ultima. We dated for 6 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we broke up for like 4 months and then we got back together in junior year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we dated for 6 years. Started when we were 15, broke up at 21. Yeah, that's my homie. That's my ace. You know what I'm saying?
You still talk to her?
Yeah, she's good people, man.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's like, she's family. Like she's my family for sure.
Oh, I love that you kept that connection.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
All right.
Yes.
Next. ASMR.
What we got?
I got 2. Oh, I got 2 in my hand. Hold on. I'm not looking. All right. What are some of your favorite drinks? Oh man, I'm just getting stuff that's so
you
me.
getting the vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or tell us that one line that you said about
let
the
me
3
tell
drinks.
you guys, when it comes to drinks, gorgeous girls and guys drink 3 drinks at a time. 1 for hydration, 1 for energy, and 1 for fun. So I don't make the rules. I'm just letting you know how it goes, okay? So some of my favorite drinks. I love this. We about to go in here. Okay,
Tell them. Go.
So
she's so excited for this question.
If we're talking about, there's so many different categories of drinks. So
let's do it.
Bobas, milk teas. I love a lavender.
Serious. She like leaned in.
Honey lavender milk tea, amazing. With a mini boba from Quickly in Carson, absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Rose milk tea, amazing. With or without boba, just depends on how I'm feeling that day. What else? I love Kelsey's Mama Tea. I love Kelsey's Mama Tea.
Shout out to you, Kelsey. We love you. Right?
Yes, go try it. Cheers to her. Water, but good water. Like I'm talking about pH balance 9.5, all natural spring water. It's got electrolytes in it, like the good stuff, like Kangen water. Specifically, my favorite brand is Ciro Cloud Water, CIRRO Cloud Water. It's literally made from clouds, and that water is different, bro. Like it hits the way it goes down the throat. It even feels different in your mouth. Like I'm just like, whoa, this is like a whole experience. And I remember once when I was on shrooms, I was like, this water, I was like comparing the water to like a different water bottle. I was like, hey, yo, this is some different shit. Like it's so much thicker and just amazing. Just go get that.
Where do you get
water.
that?
I get it from Whole Foods.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really,
What's it called
really
again?
good. Zero water,
Zero.
Cirro, cloud
okay.
water.
Okay.
But it's amazing.
I want to know how they do that process.
I looked into it and it's one of the better processes. I would definitely recommend if you are interested in trying different kinds of water, look into water sommeliers. Because that's how you'll really find the best water for you, that's best for your body. And it becomes to a point where it's not just hydration, it's actually medicine for your body because of the mineral composition that's in it. It has electrolytes, it has magnesium, it has silica, iron, like all these things that we think sometimes we don't think it's in our water, but it needs to be in our water. Because if we drink water that does not have these minerals, it actually removes these minerals from our body as we drink it. So it's important to have all the contents in our water. Like purified water, trash. You're killing yourself. Don't drink purified water,
especially
y'all.
tap water.
Yeah, especially tap water.
The
I'm
worst.
trying to think, is there any other favorite drinks of mine?
What about yours? Oh, you said your Starbucks thing.
Oh, cocktails, alcoholic drinks, fun drinks. I love tequila and mezcal. Anything of that type of nature. I'm not a vodka girl. Sometimes me and Jameson can hang out, but yes, those are all my favorite drinks.
Yes. That was a really good
I know I was in depth with that one.
Yeah, you
Y'all
went
didn't
in
think
on
there
that
was that many
one.
drinks.
Highly efficient.
Yeah, you were teaching people.
Respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
teaching people.
Thank you. I try.
What motivates / inspires you? Ooh. Well, we said nature, but for me specifically, like water, bodies of water, sunshine, physical movement, just because you get to move your energy. And we talked about Kundalini, and I wanted to mention that because not a lot of people know what that is. And I was just talking to someone about Kundalini energy and how we move that and why I work out too, because I feel like a lot of us, especially melanin people, we do carry that activation within us more than we know. And if it's not grounded, it can be something that be directed into like habits that don't serve you, like overly sexually, like over sexually active or addiction. And we've seen that within our community too, of like, it's not anchored. So for me, what motivates me is getting better at my mental health. Like, I feel like that's a huge thing for me. I think like my spiritual awakening 5 years ago was to like be an observer of my own family and the mental health issues there and be like, ooh, we got to change this. And also looking at our communities, right? And so it's like, how do we step up to be a change for all of it, for people who don't have these resources or the language or community? So for me, it's been of being a better person, but also correlating it with how I want to see the world. And I feel like also being positive to know that there is a change possible on Earth, because I feel like a lot of people get caught up in like what's not working or the patriarchy or, you know, capitalism or racism or, you know, all that shit. And which, hey, they're facts, but like we can't be emotionally tied to these things, and we have to know that we all play a part in it. You know, we're here and we're here to also dissolve it. So yeah, being a better person, I guess, in general, and to experience like love, heaven on earth, like what that's like. It's
1,000% possible, y'all. Don't let the bullshit get you down.
Yeah. Okay, one more round. Sylvan.
Man, I feel like, man, my questions have just been very
juicy.
thematic.
I'm like,
making it thick. We can get into the thick of it with you.
What is it? I'm so excited.
What does healing mean to you?
I feel like we talked about this. Do you want another one?
No, I mean, it's just,
He's like, I'm not against it.
You know what I'm saying? Healing to me means accountability. I think you can't really fault yourself for everything that happens to you, but you do have to take responsibility for what you do about it. And for me, healing has really been all about, what are you gonna do? What steps are you gonna take? You know, like for me, 100% accountability comes to mind, and listening, getting really quiet and listening. You know, that's those two things.
Too.
Listening to spirit. You know what I mean? Like, those are the two things to me. I feel whenever I'm trying to get on the other side of something, it's those two steps. at least for me,
Yeah.
for the past 4 years, that's what it's been about.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that answer.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
I'll take
Cheers
it.
to
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah.
All right. Question. I'm digging.
Dig it.
All right. Let's see.
Be slamming this bowl, yo.
I know, right?
I'm mad strong,
I
working
know.
out.
Ooh, I like that. I know. I've been in the gym working on my fitness, y'all. Okay. When did you realize magic was real? Ooh.
Why did I get that one?
Yeah.
You know?
When did you realize magic was real? That's a fully loaded question because I feel like there's so many magical events in my life, and I'm not to say that to be like, oh, I'm so magical, but yeah.
But
like,
you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you really
But
are.
the first time I realized that magic was real, probably. This is a fully loaded question. There's so many magical things. You know what? When I was working at, I worked at illegal dispensaries for like 2 to 3 years, maybe even more. So it was all kind of a blur. But I was protected the entire time. And when I mean illegal, like I'm risking my life every day.
The trap
like,
life.
I could have been robbed. I could have been shot. I could have been arrested, like a whole lot of things. But I was literally protected the entire time. Like I have, in those 3 years of me working at those traps, never did I ever get caught up by the police. Never did I ever get robbed. Never did I ever run into some fuckery while out there. And that was unheard of in that industry. People were like, oh, Raina's a lucky charm. I want to work whenever she's working because she never gets caught up. Everyone that I had worked with had gotten caught up. Not Raina. Not Raina. Raina's protected. And I was like, dude, magic must be real. I remember once I was working for 3 months straight, saving up for my 21st birthday. The day I took off was my birthday. They got raided.
Dang.
3
so
months straight,
wild,
every day
man.
up in that hole, 17 hours. Never, not me. And that's when I knew magic was real
Wow.
because I was like, wow, like I'm so protected. And people would be like, I don't get it. Why you? I don't know. I just show up at the right time. So that's when I knew that magic was real because I realized I was so protected. Like nothing bad ever happened to me. Like if I left, people would get robbed. If I left, the cops would come. Like all these people would break the doors. Like crazy things would happen when I'm not there. And I'm like, oh, I'm magical. I'm protected.
Yes.
So yes.
I love that. That's a good story.
Yes.
It's
Raina
really
has like the
incredible.
best stories
Yeah,
about
it's
her
like,
life.
bro,
Thank
what's
you,
going on?
thank
And she
you.
only like 25, going on
I
26.
was just about to say, wait till I get
whoop.
more. Oh, that one
That's
leaped out at
That was
you.
the one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the one.
Well, that's
Spirit
the two,
said-
you know what I'm saying? I don't know
Oh,
what's
man.
seven.
There's one open, so I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah, do the open.
Who broke your heart?
Oh, wow, ay.
The patriarchy did. Fuck the patriarchy. Wow. Ooh, I know. My high school boyfriend between like junior year, senior year, he was in the military and he was Puerto Rican and Cuban. He was a beautiful man. And then we were dating and then he left. And then while he was gone, there was at some point I called him and a girl picked up. And it was just like this whole drama that went down. And I was so heartbroken, y'all, because he actually got on the phone afterwards and played it off like it was nothing. And he was
Aw.
like totally down with it. I remember where I was exactly, like the intersection where I was when I was on my way to babysitting and my best friend ended up coming over to like console me. I remember literally for weeks, just like my mom I didn't go to school for like a week. And my mom like low key was like
I've been there.
totally
I know.
fine with it. I was like eating like literally like watching sad ass movies and shows, eating chocolate. My mom took me shopping. I was like gaining weight. Like I was so heartbroken, y'all.
Your
Cause
mom
like
was so sweet for holding space.
yeah,
like
she
that.
didn't.
That's
It was one of
beautiful,
those things
yeah.
where like she didn't really know how to deal with it because she had to deal with infidelity. So I felt like she also felt like shitty because he was staying with us for a little bit because he was having issues with like his mom and like abuse. So like yeah, and he
Oh
was
my
like
God.
who I lost my virginity to on the day of the Puerto Rican festival.
Oh.
And his daddy was in it. Yeah. Yeah. I remember speaking of Puerto Rico coming in strong.
I
I remember like
know.
that was like his name was Danny. That was his name. I'm not gonna say his last name. But my mom was also really close with his grandma. So like our families were like really tied in. We got really close. But it was just I guess it also related to like my dad cheating on my mom. and like seeing that go down like multiple times. And it was like a check of like, fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? So I remember also teachers coming up to me like during that time being like, are you okay? Like, I was distraught, y'all. Yeah. And that shit took me a while because it happened again. It was my first time I got cheated on, and then I got cheated on again. And that was definitely another heartbreak during my Saturn return. And that shit, ironically, when I was in Kauai, that shit came up for me 5 years later. And it was like a weird sensation in like the back of my heart area where they say a lot of our past lives are like related to the pain in the back of our body. And so for me, finding forgiveness around that was very powerful, right? So like it happened. So like, you know, I have to accept it and love it and grow from it. So I started working on just like focusing on what I did learn, like how I became a better person versus like the action of someone hurting me or like whatever the case may be or whatever reasoning they had. And at the time when I was processing something, one of my housemates came up to me, shout out Haley, and she brought me Bell Hooks' book, All About Love, as I was going through this like whole like realization of what heartbreak has done, which is made me really limited to thinking I'm valuable as a woman or like avoiding relationships just because like, why do I want to go there? Like, why would I do that? Why would I put myself out there? Like, you know, it's going to happen again type of thing.
Oh yeah.
But then when she gave me that book, which sparked a whole book club in Kauai and like reading, which you should read that book. You would love that book, All About Love.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
And they talk about the patriarchy in there. That's why I think I got it too. But it allowed me to just break apart what we think love really is too. Because to be honest, both of them were in attachments. Like I didn't know how am I gonna like really open up my heart if I didn't really know who I was? So each and every one of those experiences, or when I felt heartbreak, or even through friendships recently, I just felt like heartbroken. And that's when Spirit was telling me like, when you feel heartbroken, find your core. Like that's what Spirit kept telling me. And so I recently like stopped being friends with someone who I loved very much. And I didn't realize how heartbroken I was, but I allowed myself to mourn. I think where I am now with like my spirituality, I just allow the emotions to flow and be like, yeah, that happened. I'm learning to like how to give my energy, and I'm getting all emotional of like how to show up in those spaces and know when people are open to receive from you. Like not everybody's gonna be down with what you're saying or putting down, and I'm a hella direct person, so like I know where I am now that like when people leave my life, it's because I'm being opened up to something greater and that I'm becoming more in alignment. So these tower moments that have been happening in my life recently, I'm like, yo, I'm doing something good though. Like I'm on the right track by really going deep into those places about the heart. And I really do feel like on earth, like that's our transmitter. That's our vehicle really is the heart. Like, you know, that's like Christ conscious, like microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that was deep.
Yeah.
That was really deep.
It's one of the ones.
So you turned all your L's into lessons, didn't you?
That was good. Yes, I had to. I mean, otherwise depression or just the fuckery I was getting involved with. Yeah. Heal yourselves, guys. Also, Bell Hooks, All About Love. Definitely recommend for everybody to read. Males, especially too, because it's a great perspective on also how a female writer and a Black woman sees relationships throughout her experience, right? So it's good to learn from one another, like you were talking about your partner, and being open to see those roles, what they are, what they're not, and like what they need, you know, and to be a balance. Because I feel like we're all here to grow through relationships. Relationships are the challenging part, not just intimate, but friendships, business partners, and all that. Like it's tough. Like we can't isolate ourselves forever. And that's what COVID did. So now we're finding ways to come back in community, and coming back in community is hella triggering because you have to learn how to communicate better and feel people out. If you're willing to be, you know, a better person, you would be very conscious about others and what they're going through and what's their love language and what they need, etc. So it's not only our intimate partners, but like everybody that we associate ourselves with or who we bring in our circle.
Yeah, whoever we interact with.
Yeah.
And also I to piggyback off that, the relationships that you have with yourself is also a reflection of your relationship with others. So when your relationship with yourself is messed up, it's like, how can you treat others in the world right when you're not even treating yourself right? So I think also when you realize that certain relationships aren't moving the way they should be, it's kind of like looking back at yourself, like, how do I communicate things to myself? How do like I show up for myself? And it's just huge to be aware of how you show up in all relationships, whatever they may be, platonic, romantic, business, et cetera, et cetera. So I love that you're doing that. And we're all doing it, you know what I mean? And I hope this encourages everyone else listening and watching to turn all your L's into lessons, to dive deeper, to wise up to everything that's going on, you know, and be the bridge between to yourself. Okay.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? Just gotta slide that in real quick. Kind of slide that.
Sylvan, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Your journey has been very inspiring for both of us, because both of us would be like, damn, we be seeing Sylvan at the gym. Like, I gotta go.
Hey,
that's
facts,
love.
facts.
For real.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, your music has been helping me in the gym. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been helping me put in some work. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh snap, right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
A fan. I'm
Let's
a fan too.
go.
But Reina be on your stuff. Like,
That's love.
Yes, I got you.
Yo, I really appreciate that.
Yes, I really be listening to it and vibing to it, like all natural, like, you know what I mean? No sponsorship. I really fuck with it. Like, I really listen to it.
Any last minute thoughts before we wrap up, Sylvan? For the people out there.
Yeah.
Oh, for the people?
For the people
tell
out
them
there.
anything that you're doing, or anything you want to let them know.
Hey, man, stay present. That's all I got. Stay present. And just listen to yourself. You know, find some time to listen to yourself. Whatever you got to do, just find that time. That's what I've been going through lately is, you know, being present and finding that time to listen to myself.
Yeah.
Wise up.
Yeah.
Cheers
Wise up,
to
y'all.
that.
Oh,
Cheers
yeah.
to that.
Thank y'all.
Episode 14.
Follow
Sylvan. Go check out his music. Go listen to him. All of the good things. Write us a review. Listen to us on your streaming podcast platform. Share us with everybody and share Sylvan with everyone.
Yeah, and if you like this content, go ahead and buy us a coffee.
Yes.
And is it buymeacoffee.com/bridgebetween?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. And go ahead, follow Sylvan. He's hella motivating, and he's here for the change on
Yes,
Earth.
and he's about to drop it like it's hot soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch out now.
All right, thank y'all.
Bye, guys. Woo, we did
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Very incredible.